We're coming to you from obviously, the St. Augustine Distillery. Our plan today is to do just the self-guided tour, and then maybe we'll do the bottle our own bottle today.
That sounds good.
So this is as you first walk in. You have a little display case and some old lockers. And then this was a old time clock where you could clock in. And this is the entrance. That's the door coming in from like the gift shop. And this is as you walk into the distillery part. The first thing you see is this little reception desk here. You check in. They give you a little wristband. And then your first tasting station is over here in the back far left corner.
Pretty good. Is it 2 of you sampling? My name's Emily. I'm going to have your first of 4 cocktail samples on your tour today. So we're going to start with our Florida Mule. It's going to be 1 part of our Florida sugarcane vodka. We bottle this at 80 proof. 1 part of our Florida Mule mix. It's going to have fresh ginger juice, fresh lime juice, a little bit of cayenne pepper as well. So it has a kick at the end. There's also 2 parts of our seltzer water.
So the magic word,
It's just enough to let you know it's there, but nothing crazy. Cheers.
All right, thank you. Cheers.
And if you like what you're tasting, we do have everything up at the shop. There is a recipe on the back. So if you're anything like me, you think I'm going to mess this up when I get home, you can't. It's right on the back for you.
Okay.
And you are also able to try anything straight when you're up at the Bourbon Bar, which is going to be the last stop on your tour. I definitely recommend trying the vodka straight. It's different than a corn-based vodka or potato-based, which you might be used to. So it's a lot smoother, easier to take a shot of. It's my favorite personally. When you guys are ready, you can take a map and head on right through those doors.
So as you walk in through these doors, you can kind of see them through the doors. It's their rick house where they're showing off some of their barrels. You don't see any dates or labels. I think it's more just a display, at least from this side. And then back in the back, there's the stills.
Alright. Well, welcome you guys. My name's Shauna. I'm going to have your next 2 cocktail samples here for you. First one's going to be our gin and tonic. So our gin over here is a botanical gin made with 12 different botanicals, which can actually be found right along that wall over there. So we bottle up our gin at 94 proof, pairing 1 part of our gin with 1 part of our tonic mix. The tonic mix is made with quinine, lime juice, citric acid, and some Florida-grown sugar cane. We then top it off using 2 parts seltzer or soda water. All right, cheers, you guys.
Cheers. Cheers. I like that actually. Good tiger.
So you're a bourbon fan?
Yes.
You came to the right place. Yeah. Yeah. And so the next cocktail sample I have for you guys here to try is going to be a little bit more on the sweeter side. It is our tropical rum tiki, which is pretty much like our take on a pina colada. So we make this drink right here using 1 part of our rum. Our rum is made of molasses, rested in the used bourbon barrel for about a year, where it picks up this nice golden color to it. Also has some butterscotch, some caramel notes to it as well. So that's bottled up at 90 proof. And we pair 1 part of that, 1 part of the tiki mix. The tiki mix is made with coconut cream, pineapple juice, almond extract, lime juice, ginger juice, and nutmeg.
Yeah.
I know all the good stuff. And then we top it off with 2 parts seltzer or soda water as well. All right, cheers.
Again.
Glad to have you over here. My name's Doug, and I'm going to make you a bourbon old fashioned. Okay, we're going to make that with Florida straight bourbon that's 88 proof, and we're going to mix that with our own old fashioned mix and everything that you need to make an old fashioned in here. Do you folks like bourbon? Oh, I guess you do. Where's your shirt?
I don't have. I'm fashion.
Oh, okay. Now, this drink of ours is going to be 4 parts of bourbon and 1 part of the mix, 4 to 1. So we're going to get pretty serious with this drink, right? Cheers, guys. Enjoy. Enjoy.
No original flavor.
What'd you think, guys?
It's a pretty straight up.
Anything else you guys want to try? What was it you wanted to try?
Oh, she wants to try the honey.
We don't have that.
They're pretty good.
Okay, so I wanted to taste the difference.
I made some bad stronger. I actually like that one the best.
I know this is what you start out with. And then you use it as
Dumping it out.
I like that one the best. Old fashioned mixer with St. Augustine Florida straight bourbon is the best.
Home distilling is like one of those things that no matter how
Anything I tried, so that was the best.
Now, we make several different bourbons here. Do you like drinking bourbon straight? Yes. Is that what you're drinking? This is our base bourbon, and we do port finish bourbon. There's a winery up the street here, and they make all of their port wine in our used bourbon barrels. They send some of the barrels back. We put bourbon in a port finish bourbon and age it for 8 months. This is toasted, pulled out of a charred barrel, and then put in a new barrel that's slightly toasted. This is a small batch of 1,300 bottles, and it's cast strength. It's 5 barrels that are about 4.5 years old, and then they're aged for 8 months in a barrel we made old-fashioned mix in. That's 109 proof and probably the smoothest bourbon we have. Then we have 1 cast strength bourbon here, and it's a fill your own bottle. Okay. Interesting thing is, you couldn't make bourbon in Florida until 10 years ago. It was against the law. So we're the first distillery in the state of Florida. This bourbon is the oldest bourbon in the state of Florida right now that was made in Florida. And it's 8 years, 322 days old, almost 9 years.
How many?
8 years, 322 days. Okay. It's going to be 121.7 proof. Okay. It's going to have. That's my type of bourbon. This is going to be a little hot on the first taste. The second sip, it goes away.
bar quality cocktail, very easy to
We just celebrated yesterday 21 years married.
Congratulations.
I know.
Guys.
I was like, this would be awesome to go bourbon tasting on our weekend of celebrating our
Listen,
anniversary.
you can put happy anniversary on here. Your name and all that. This is a very special bourbon. There's only one bourbon in America that's made like this that we know of. And what we do is we take 5 barrels that we call honey barrels, because when we taste them up in our warehouse, they have a great taste. And so we call these honey barrels. We pull 5 of them at around 4.5 years old.
Okay.
And then we're going to take those barrels and we're going to age it in barrels that we made old-fashioned mix in. So this bourbon is really kind of an old-fashioned finished bourbon. And it's straight from the barrel, straight to the bottle, and it's going to be 109 proof.
Okay. Sounds good.
End of story. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming to see us. Okay?
Welcome to the St. Augustine Distillery. Terry here today is going to be filling his own bottle of bourbon of barrel 193. Barrel 193 is the first 200 barrels of bourbon we laid down, making it currently the oldest bourbon in Florida since Prohibition. 8 years, 227 days old. Now we only estimate about 120 bottles of this barrel. Of the 120 bottles estimated in this barrel, you are barrel 106. So you're probably one of the last few people that get to fill this bottle. Now there's no measurement, there's no weight on there. It won't automatically stop, but I'll let you know when to stop. How it's going to work, you're going to pull that black lever towards you, and that's going to release your bourbon. I'll let you know when to stop, but I'll make sure you get every last drop. Is it your first time here? Yes. Great. We're the first legal bourbon distillery in the state of Florida since Prohibition, and the most awarded distillery in Florida. So this barrel actually laid in this rick house here. The rick house, this will age bourbon anywhere from about 3 to 8 years. We find that when we age our bourbon in this part of the rick house, that we get a longer aged, tastier bourbon. We do have a separate rick house that's somewhere here in St. Augustine. We have several thousand barrels aging. And one day they may become a fill your own bottle. This will run out today, but we will have another one. I will know is we won't have one quite as old as this. Generally, they're about 3 to 4 years old.
How old is this one again?
8 years, 227 days. That's about 16 years in Kentucky because of the climate here in Florida. All right, you're gonna stop there.
I'll just let you.
Perfect. And for good luck, you can put the rest in that line. So pull the lever towards you again. Great. Got to keep some room in there for that cork. You can take the bottle off of there and lay it onto this table. You can firmly press the cork into your bottle.
What do you do with the barrel once it's done?
So once we're done with our barrels, they'll go to Bog Brewery, Dog Rose Brewery, Funky Buddha Brewery in Fort Lauderdale. They'll go to local coffee shops like Kookaburra and to Gainesville to make honey. So the honey you saw in the gift shop is aged in our used bourbon barrels. Or we'll break them down and make them into furniture. And then we send a lot of them to the winery to make port finish bourbon. So you filled your own bottle of bourbon. Now we got to dress this up. So we're both going to come over here. I recommend whoever has the better handwriting to do this step. That's because this will be going on your bottle. So bottler, you just put your first name there. That will not be going on your bottle. Now for this is barrel number 193. Barrel 193 is 121.7 proof. 0.7.
0.7?
Yep. And then the alcohol by volume is 60.85. Today's date, November 10th, 2017. 2023, not 2017. I was looking at that 17, that's why. Now that's bottle by. You can put anything you like. You can put bottle by Danielle and Terry, or you can bottle by me, for me. Anything you like.
It's our 21st anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Glad you're spending it with us.
Well, it was yesterday, but.
It's all weekend long. And you're on the trolley today, so the next stop on your trolley is the winery. So if you do decide to go there, the local winery makes a port wine. They use our used whiskey barrels to make their port wine. So the port wine we make here is the only port wine to exist where the distillery will start with the barrel, it goes to a winery, and then comes back to the same distillery.
Oh, wow.
These stickers will be going on your bottle. You're going to peel this Florida Straight sticker back.
Oh,
Can we clean the
gosh.
bottle?
Oh yeah, I can wipe that down for you. Missed that step.
I'm going to let him do this.
Okay. Now even our bottles in our gift shop aren't perfect because they're hand bottled.
I know, but he's going to make
Yeah, it's fine. 99% of the people will follow the directions and align the sticker with this crease here.
Yeah.
But it's your own bottle. You could do whatever you like.
Somewhat.
Looks good. That's the front of your bottle. Now the neck of your bottle, reading cast strength, went into the barrel at 110 proof, skyrocketed up to 121.7, and that's the way it was bottled. No chill filtering. The only filter it goes through is this coffee filter, so you don't get any splinters when sipping on this. So you're going to peel that sticker back. That is one sticker. And to apply that sticker, that first word, cast strength, is going to go in the front of the neck here.
The first one.
Yep.
This one.
That one there. Then you're going to apply the shorter side down, and then followed by the longer side. And if done correctly, and it looks like it is, the back and front of your bottle should read cast strength. So that's a cast strength bourbon. Now that it's bottled and it has its labels on it, to legally take this out of our distillery, we have to seal this bottle. We'll get your seal for you. This little plastic seal, we're going to shrink wrap it. You're going to open up the seal, put it over the neck of the bottle, leave about a ½ inch on top so it seals correctly. Looks good. Now before we seal the bottle, we're going to do a little activity. We're going to put your hands out. So this is basically hand sanitizer, but whiskey is a fermented cereal grain usually aged in barrels. So this is whiskey right off the still, 155.2 proof. If you rub your hands together and clap them, it's also cut finder. You smell your hands? It smells like a sweet chocolate chip wheat bread. That sweetness is going to indicate it's a corn dominant whiskey. Bourbon whiskey. Bourbon whiskey is 51% or more of corn. Rye whiskey is 51% or more of rye. Now that your hands are sanitized and clean, we're going to put on these fancy heat gloves. Just like Leanne and Beth do in our hand bottling room, there's a double line and a single line on this. You're going to press the single line towards the floor. That's going to release the high heat. Work from bottom to top, and feel free to give your bottle a spin.
Is that what you do to all the?
All the bottles are done that. We have the sisters, they'll actually do it by hand. One of them's here. When we take you behind the stills, you'll be able to actually see them. But yeah, one works from about 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then the other sister will come in from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh, that's neat.
I'm going to get a little more heat on the top and then press that down without heat. That will let it apply. Looks good. Wonderful.
You have to use these?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do they use the gloves?
They don't know.
Oh yeah, I didn't think
No,
they did.
no.
They probably use these.
Yeah, they just go, it's like a
Yeah.
line of bottles coming down. Now, as you can see, there's a few more steps to go through. So literature on these barrels means a lot. This design is our older barrels, and that design is our newer barrels. So that's barrel number 3133. So the 3,133rd bottle to be filled. This is the 184th bottle, 184th barrel to be filled. So you just filled barrel 193. Each of these barrels are all aged differently, and they're not going to be moved at all. They stay the same spot for their aging process. How we determine the age of the barrel, that is going to be this code here, the lot number. You see that? 19G31. Well, let's decode that. 2019, that's the year. G. G is the 7th letter in the alphabet. The 7th month in the year is July. This will indicate this barrel was laid down on July 31st, 2019. It went into the barrel at 110 proof. This barrel is 53 gallons. Some of the barrels you'll see it says like 18th month on it. They might be a little faded here. That is not the age of the bourbon inside. 18th month would be the how long the wood was cured in the elements. That's what all that means. This is some of the first stocks of bourbon in Florida. And this one, I think this would be actually really cool. That's a leap year barrel, February 29th, 2020.
Oh, yes.
I hope they do something cool with that barrel, because when I saw it, I was like, wait a second, that must have been a leap year. Another leap year barrel. And I notice sometimes they cross out the proof. We're a small craft distillery, the first bourbon distillery in Florida. We're always experimenting. So we find that 115 works better for us. The barrels will come pre-stamped from the Kelvin cooperage, but we'll fix that, the 115 entry. What happens here, so bourbon barrels are liquid type, but they're not airtight. And especially with the colder days we've been having, so the wood will actually expand when it gets hot, and when it gets cold, it tightens up. And with the change, it's actually starting to buckle and open up. It's not really bad happening, but we find it happens more to the lower end of the barrels. And I just plug them up and everything's safe inside. And if you touch it, it is wet, and it's like a sweet chalk, it tastes like. And that very special barrel there is the Sing Out Loud Festival. Every person who attended the festival signed this barrel. So the St. Augustine Distillery has a big part in why that festival exists. Pot still and our spirit still. The gin gets its own still because gin has those aromas of that pine and Christmas tree. So what we do is we just take vodka, we put it in that gin still, and add as many botanicals. So even though we're famous for our bourbon, that little still is making our most awarded spirit, our gin. It's been named the best craft gin in America twice. So obviously these aren't functioning right now because the distillers have left for the day, but all these stills do operate, and they do make the spirit of Florida. All right, so if you like, you can sign this barrel head. You can sign wherever you like. This will be forever displayed in our distillery, and your name will be forever engraved and fill your own history. So you can pick a spot, any spot. So every time you come in, look up at that area and you'll see your name. And that's the day you celebrate your 21st anniversary. And filled some of the oldest bourbon in Florida. Now, if one more final step. To be forever engraved and fill your own history, every person gets to sign our ledger. So every person who ever filled a bottle here at the St. Augustine Distillery is in this book, including myself. Now you get to be a part of this book. You're going to write your first and last name and number 106 when you're ready. 106 out of an estimated 125 bottles. Could be more, could be less. If you're looking for a really good place to eat, a place that has an incredible bourbon selection is the Fish Camp, about 500 feet up the sidewalk. Incredible seafood and food in general. The other night I had their strawberry, strawberry bread pudding. It was so good. So 106, that's so everyone knows you're 106. So you know your bottle 106, you can put that on that little neck tag, and that will be placed on around the neck of your bottle. And I'll box it up so it's nice and safe for you. And you have successfully filled your own bottle of bourbon. Step number 5 is completely optional.
All right. Well, yeah, of course.
So, as you've seen in the video, we got the bottle of your own.
106, we were numbered.
And you see this is where we started, the distillery entrance here. And as you went through this video, you'll see some great, amazing people.
Hey guys, so if you like this, ring the bell and follow our channel and
Like and